Good morning everyone, this is Ruby. I wanted to share this book. I know you've seen this before, but you saw it as it was being built and now it's finished, and I just wanted to show you. So I'd like to start by saying it measures about 8.5 inches by about 6.5 inches. Its spine is about 2.25, 2.5 inches. I like to show my bindings. I do hidden ones if you want, but I like this look. It's also quite versatile because you can take them out and add to them whenever you want to. That's I something about the look of it. I just like it. Anyway, the charm that I've made can be removed if it's too clinky clanky for you. You just take the little clip off and you've got yourself a handy clip, and you can take this apart if you don't like it. I'm really chuffed with this one, apart from the usual beads and stuff that I've used. Sorry about that. I put some little shrinky dinks on, so I've got my fairy and her little pet hare. I think they're ever so cute, and but I'm always trying to use up old book pages. So what I've made is I use these for necklaces and earrings and bracelets and things like that. And I got a couple on here. I got some little ones, some smaller ones. I got a large one, and there's another smaller one. And what I do, sometimes I leave them as book pages, sometimes I put patterned paper on them as well, and I go around with a little gold pen or a bit of black paint or something. But what I do is I punch out, say, 15 or 18 circles, or whatever shape I've got, whatever shape punch I want or something. This is about 12 on this one, and I was inspired by those Russian boxes that you get. Beautiful things they are. But anyway, you stick them all together. It's something you can do in front of the telly, and then you punch a hole in them, and they're rock solid. Look, I mean, they are really rock solid. They're like wood, but they're old book pages. So I wanted to share that with you. It's a great little fun way to use up your book pages. Anyway, back to this. If I have to break off and do a second video, part 2 on this, I do apologise. I have a very old phone and I'm a bit of a gas bag, so it might not all fit in. Anyway, I've tied this together. It's not one of those big gapy journals. It's just I've shoved a load of stuff in that you can use, cut up, tear up, use yourself in either this journal or another one, or if you want to make another journal with this stuff. I've just put lots of interesting pieces in here that you might like to use. So I've tied it together, but if you take it all out, and there's plenty of room in here that you don't need to keep it tied shut. It's just, rather than add a wad of papers and interesting pieces separately, I've just popped it all in little tuck spots. So anyway, I made this cover. It's an embossed cover. I made it from cardboard, and then I covered it in cotton, and then I've painted it, and then I've inked it with white ink to get that sun bleached effect. You can always, grunge it up with your own browner inks if you like. It doesn't really matter. But I've used white ink, subtly white ink on it, because I just love that sun bleached look, and it, So anyway, let's go in now. I wanted a theme, and the theme was a butterfly predominantly, but then I'm a bit of a sucker for any animals and flowers and stuff like that, and if it makes me smile, it goes in. So it's a bit random, but bear with me. I've included in this little tuck spot in the front. I prefer tuck spots to pockets because that gives you more flexibility, and you can put wider things in and out of them, and you're not struggling to get stuff in. Plus, I like interesting shapes. I do make pockets. I like to make those separately, and then people can stick them in themselves. But basically, let's start off. I've put some little pretty papers in. You've got some shimmery, glittery bits, and you've got some vellum, and just all interesting little bits. You can snip it and just add little bits to your journaling if you like. I started each signature off with a small little quote that I put on my old typewriter. Embrace the glorious mess that you are. That is so me, you know. Do you know, since I've been embracing the mess that I am, I've been much happier. So, you know, I'm proud to be a mess and a wreck. There's a little cut-out butterfly from a piece of lace. Each signature has one of those. I haven't sewn it in or anything. You don't even have to use them in here, but I thought they were pretty little embellishments, so I paper clipped them on, and they're pretty little clips, and you never know, you might want to use them somewhere else. So there we go anyway. So that's some eco-printing. I did that one a few years ago. It came out beautiful. That's dogwood, that is. This is out of an old encyclopedia for children. It's all about insects, and the entire chapter, it's only a few pages long, is in here. So if you want to read it all, or use the pages, cut them out, whatever. This is a piece of handmade paper I made. Again, I used old book pages, and this was part of my Valentine's Day flowers, my roses. So I put them in with this sheet here. I love making paper, and I mean, you can emboss this, you can do all sorts with it. I folded it roughly into an envelope form, but you can do anything with it, you know. Oh dear, a couple of the little petals are popping out there. Sorry about that. Let me just... There we go. Sorry about that. But you can do whatever you like with it. I've just held it under there with a little paper clip. I made this little embellishment. He's ever so sweet. I used some card and some more handmade paper and a little cutout there because I love fussy cutting. So I cut out a little cute dormouse, and then on the other side there's a little bunny in his house because I love bunnies, and he looks so cute. He's in his little burrow, and I fussy cut him out as well. I use all different sorts of papers. I love the patterns that you get when you coffee dye stuff, tea dye it, whatever. I think I've got a bit of a mixture in here. Some old graph paper and some old square paper and just plain bits. And this is a lovely book here, and so I've included that. We had a lot of them in our garden last summer. Hopefully we'll get some this year. I got some lined paper. Here's another little tack. This is some interesting bits. It's some old mechanic textbook, but those cut out to be nice. And if you might want to put double-sided sellotape on this and make your own. Well, it's not washi tape because washi is a particular type of paper, but I think we refer to it as washi tape, but you know what I mean, just sticky tape. You make your own. That might be quite interesting. Little codes, numbery bits and bobs, they're quite interesting. This is some French paper. This is a little bit of colouring paper if you don't fancy journaling one day, or you don't, oh, I don't want to paint, just do some colouring in, why not, eh? There's a little bit of script inside that one. There's a bit of an accountancy sort of paper there. Some more square paper. This is I made this out of an old book page. I did it because it's beautiful graphics, and it's also about Wales. I've done that walk in my youth, Bredwardine around the River Wye. It's a beautiful walk, and you probably see lots of butterflies in nature, depending on the time of year you do that. But it's riddled with wildlife. Beautiful, beautiful walk. Beautiful part of the country. And we got just more pattern paper. This is another, had in with another die cut as well. This has come out of an old Lady Bird book from when I was a child. Little butterflies. I got some more butterflies from that book. I never did do any more on that, did I? I showed you that last year. I never did get any more done. It's something else I do in front of the television, is embroider. As you can see, I've sort of overlaid the daisies in front of each other because I don't draw out a pattern or anything. Excuse me. I just go for it and I have great fun. you know, it's an old shirt, and so I clipped it in so you can stick it on whatever you like. If you want to use it on a journal cover, or make it into a little pocket or a flippity jippity thing, whatever, you know. This is some more homemade paper. This was a book page as well. Well, it wasn't a book page, it was several book pages. I like to make cardboard as well as paper with my homemade papers. So I popped a little piece of fabric on it and some buttons, and this is very thick. You know, I love making the card as well as the paper, like, you know, it's great fun, and I just popped that in there. I've made a lot of envelopes in this journal as well. I won't take them all off and show you. I probably will. But you know, they're just nice envelopes. You can use them and put a label on it and send it to someone, or you know, use it in your journals. You know, you don't have to use it in this one. Like I say, there's lots of interest being put into it for you to use. Again, there's more of that book. There's some more dogwood. This is some printing on dictionary paper. I just popped it in. I didn't want to paper clip it or staple it or fold it or anything. I thought it was very pretty. It's quite fragile. You might want to decoupage it onto something. So I just popped that in there. I thought that might be nice, maybe in a collage or something. Again, it's another signature with a little butterfly. More stuff. Just a fun little piece of card there. I don't know why I put it in, but I just like interest, you know. You can put a photograph on there or something. Another little tuck spot. I like all different shaped tuck spots. I think they're great fun. They really are lovely fun, and they're so versatile. This is about bats. Why did I put that in? Well, you see, I didn't have my glasses on, and I thought that was a little mouse. It's a bat. But never mind. It's a pretty picture, isn't it? And you know, you can cut that into strips and they'd look really attractive, because you know, they wouldn't look like anything. Can you just imagine that? That looks really attractive, and it'd make a lovely decoration down the side of a page or something like that. We've got some more counting paper there. You know, if you wanted to tear everything out and just use this as a writing journal, you've got buckets of room. I don't know how many pages I've got in here. Loads. Again, more papers. Yeah, more. There's another piece of book page here. This is the Black Mountains and the Brecon Beacons. Oh, gorgeous mountain ranges in Wales. And I just thought you might like that. Interesting, isn't it? And there I just used a butterfly. It's green cardstock, and I just used a butterfly. And you see, it'll hold. Tuck spots are brilliant things. They're ever so handy. Just, you know, more interesting papers and stuff. You know, I made this, and then I got a load of lovely listing paper the other day. My gorgeous husband got me some, so I'll have lots of that listed listing paper. I'm going to put everything in my shop. I don't have an Etsy shop. I have a website which I'm building, and I'll put all those sorts of things in there, just like these little embellishments and things. You can get them and make your own stuff. You know, papers, my paper, my embroidery. I'm never going to use it all. I go on a bender almost. I'll just embroider for weeks, and then I'll make paper for weeks, and then I'll do this and the other for weeks and weeks and weeks. Fussy cutting, oh my giddy aunt. I've got boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff. I'm never going to use them all, so, you know, I'm going to offload them, you know. But anyway, I digress. Beautiful. I just love the way they used to do books back in those days. But the chapter in that book was actually insects and other small creatures, so that really ticked all the boxes for me. So I wanted to include the whole chapter, so, you know, you can have a little read. Pretty little piece of music paper there. I didn't dye that because there's no need. It aged itself. Just interesting pieces of nature books. I've typed at the beginning of every signature, you know. Again, you can take it out, what have you, cut them out and put them on a tag, you know, why not? This is lovely old book plate here. It's just popped in with a paper clip. beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I just wanted to include that. You can make postcards out of these, see, you know, cut them out, back them onto a bit of lovely cardstock, and if you go around it with those scalloped scissors, you know, or your pinking shears, but not your real proper pinking shears, you know the sort that gives, you know, an ink that it'll look quite authentically vintage, won't it? So another piece of card and some more paper, more interesting paper, some tea-dyed funkiness. More. I decoupaged this pocket, not decoupaged it, what's the word? It's not mosaic, collaging, sorry. I took, again, use up the book pages. This is 3 sheets of book paper sewn up together, and then there's another 3 on the front, and I just collaged it. I'd love to have that freedom where you tear randomly. I've got to do straight lines almost, but with a jaggedy edge. And I've just popped a few of my little fussy cuts on here. My handmade papers are on here, some fabrics and whatnot, and just different fabrics. I just wanted to show you what you can do with them. So I popped that in there. You might want to, I don't know, stick it in the back of a traveller notebook, keep it in here or what have you, I don't know. We got more paper, just small bits and bobs in here, another bit of colouring in, you can use that. More bits of papers, just, I like interesting shapes and sizes. This is quite nice. This is another paper clip I made. It's handmade paper, it's watercolour paper, handmade paper, fabric and some little buttons, and I use some more handmade paper. See, look how mean I am. I'll even keep little strips like that so I can make a flower. All I've done here is I've taken some more book page and I've just backed it onto some card. It's like, you could make a notebook with that, or you could just keep stuff in it like that. I've just done similar. I've backed it onto some plain card for you to do what you like with it. I've just done a couple of interesting shapes. I actually used plain book page on that, so it just thickened that up. And I popped in a glassine bag because they come in ever so handy, you know. You never know. You never know. So you just pop that on your page and slide it underneath it, and there we go. You know, you can, well, you know how to use a paper clip, don't you? See, sorry, I'm just nervous, you know. Some more. This is a tea-dyed glassine bag. That looks quite nice if you're collaging. You know, you can use that. It's another envelope, a different size one. It's, again, this beautiful paper, and I wanted to share that one around because it's a big old book. I'm never going to use it all. I've got a little butterfly again, and another little quote. And here's another one I've made, but I've just done a funky stitch around it, and you can collage it yourself with, you know, some of the papers and bits and bobs I popped in. Some more, yeah. Do you remember when you were kids and all the textbooks, they were in colour, but it was all one colour, different shades of it. There's a little bit about butterflies and how to write a letter properly. You know, typical 1950s, 60s book, you know. There we go. And it's got a bit of script embedded in it. Yeah, just all interesting gubbins. This is just book pages, I've done. So you've got a lot, you can make tags with it. You know, there's several sheets in here, and there's 4 sheets in there, and then there's a 5th sheet here, so that you've got plenty of material that kind of all ties together, you know, like I tie anything together, really. This I'm super proud of. Again, I've made my own paper clip. It's, well, I made the paper clip, I've just embellished it. I used watercolour paper, bit of fabric, bit of handmade paper, fabric flower, and a bit of card that, you know, when you punch stuff out and you keep the little holes. I do. Oh dear, do I have a clutter problem. So I got the little holes, yeah, but I'm super proud of this. You know when you're making a folder and you've got a lovely picture and you think, oh, I don't want to cover that picture up with a pocket, but I need to have a pocket. Well, you know these, well, I got some smaller ones here and they got no writing on them. So you put your paperwork in and you pop it up in the post. Well, that's quite tough, you know. So what I'd done was I stuck it down and then I've reinforced the edge. You don't need to reinforce the edge, but so that you can find it easily. Which side did I do it? So I've put some silk there on this one, and on the other side I've popped a little bit of lace. And you see, you're not going to want to cover that up. Well, I only did them on the one side, but you know, you can see what you've got in there. I've popped in here 10 or so of my fussy cut butterflies. I thought they might be useful for you for something. You know, I just cut them out and I popped in 10 in there. So I thought, well, you know, you can see what you've got, and it's handy when you've got little fussy cuts or stamps. You can see what you've got, but you know. And on this one, I've popped in an envelope template, and you're probably thinking, oh, whoop-de-doo, envelope template. Why do we need that one? Well, I thought it might be useful because I like to have everything the right way up. You know, that bit upright, that bit upright, and that bit upright. So it's just a little memory jogger of what bit needs to be upside down so that when you fold it together, it's all the right way up. And I popped it in there because I find that sort of memory thing handy, little memory aid there, and I think it's quite handy. So I thought I'd pop that in there for you as well. And it's just, you know, keep your little bits and bobs in there. Of course, you can fold that around any way you want. You can have the outside bits on the inside. It totally doesn't matter because I've popped fabric down the middle on both sides. So anyway, there we go, more of that mechanical book there. If you really like that as a background or something. I don't know, bits of music. There's some nice bits of text you can cut out on there. More papers. I've done a purple selection of little pieces of cotton. Just popped another glassine bag in because, again, they're handy to keep little pieces in. So we got more bits here, and another signature starter. This is a little paper clip I've made, and I got this inspiration from Genevieve Designs. I'd never thought before of using a brad in a paper clip to hold it on, so I use fabric flowers, and thank you so much. And instead of snipping the ends, I just folded them in and then glued glued a button on. It's just a spare piece of card, but you can use that to make a little notebook, you know, shove the papers under, and you know, I thought that might be handy, make a little separate book. But I love that idea, it's ever so handy, and I love making paper clips, so you know, I got more papers, just little pretty pictures that make me smile, different papers that I find interesting, loads of them in here, really loads and loads. So, you know, you've got a lot of things you can take apart. This is my Acer. I love that one. It really came out beautifully. I've got lots of eco prints. I got loads of it. So if you want any, it's going to be listed. All right. Here's a bit out of an old Enid Blyton book. It's about Pip, this little pixie. And it's just a bit about a butterfly. You know, again, a pretty tuck spot. I love tuck spots. I think I mentioned that. Here's just another piece of book page. I thought you might make tags out of it, or you can fussy cut them. It's an interesting book, this one, you see, because you've got the underside of the wings as well. So you know when they're closed up, it looks like that, and when then open it looks like that. So that's why they look funny, but it's very interesting. And I just thought, well, you know, some people struggle with books, so I thought if I include some raw materials, you don't have to buy the whole book, do you? There's another envelope I've made. There's more pages and stuff. There's more of that Acer. And then right at the end here, what comes easy won't last long. What lasts long won't come easy. I know the truth. Now this is just clipped in as well. It's so you can remove it. It's in your. You can put it anywhere in your book. Just a little pocket. You've got one at the front and you've got one at the back. And I love this card, so I just popped what was left in there. I thought you might, you know, you can always round the corners or clip them and make a nice tag yourself. And you never know when you need one of these. Blinking handy, these big ones. Yeah, great for embellishing as well. But yeah, that's the book. Now I've left a lot of tails on. I don't know whether you like them. These are all the tails from the signature. You can put beads in there. You know, just have fun. But you see what I mean? If you took all the extra pages out that I've included, you can you've got enough there to make a couple of journals and decorate them. But for the time being, I'm just going to tie it together with this. Now, if you'd like it, please contact me. It's not listed in any shop because I've got to get organised first, you know. But I will have everything available. My website is on the description, or it should be, or it will be soon. And I don't know how many pages are in here. There's loads of signatures. It's full. I mean, it's heaving. Pretty beads, pretty beads. There's enough there. You can make your own bracelet with. Seriously, you know, make key rings with it if you don't want it on here. Just unclip it. But I really hope it goes to a good home. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've got so many nearly finished. It took quite a while to finish it, but you know, I think it was worth the wait. And I just love making my own book covers, you know. So I'm also going to be listing some partially made book cover, you know, the completed cover ready for you to use as well. Because I know some of you struggle with the curved spines, so you know, there's all the separate components will be there. So if you know, anything you want, but try out that idea because I think it's so groovy. I really do. Be careful when you stick it down that you don't get crumples and wrinkles. So I just peeled it off a little bit at a time and smoothed it down my book page. But you've got plenty of book pages to practice on. And so if you know, thank you very much. I'm starting to witter now, so I'm going to go. But have a wonderful weekend, everybody, and thank you for listening. God bless.